Okay, I've had a chance to work on your design, and I will give you a brief description of what I'm showing you here. This here is a bank of 4 drawers to the left of your stove. 18-inch wall cabinet that gives a 3-inch gap between the side of this 30-inch vent hood, and then this is a 12-inch cabinet, gives you 3 inches of gap again for this 30 wide stove hood. Gas stove 30 inches wide. This is a 21-inch base cabinet with a drawer and a door. I could put a roll-out tray in here if you'd like. 36-inch wide sink base with a farm sink. Knowing the size and make and model of the sink base would be good, because that can depend on what type of sink cabinet I can accommodate. I think I would suggest, if you're going to go with a farm sink, I would suggest the Kohler White Heaven, or White Haven, I should say. This guy here, let's see, probably, well, they have a number of different configurations. The reason why I go with this cabinet, this farm sink, is because it's self-trimming. We look at the spec sheet on it. It's self-trimming, meaning there's a little flange here and a little flange here that goes up against the cabinet, which means the person who installs the or cuts the cabinet, the farm sink cabinet, is going to need to be cut. But that gives that person some wiggle room, an error factor, if you would. So now here we've got a 9-inch. This would be used for trays on a vertical. And then I put a full-size Super Susan here. There's going to be 2 trays inside this cabinet, and they're going to be shaped like this, and they're going to be on a fixed shelf. So there's 2 of them. They spin around. Usually that's the best thing for a corner cabinet. See a wall cabinet here. See the crown molding. Well, you can if I do this. Hidden line. See the crown molding here. This is a 3-inch crown. Pretty simple crown. It's kind of a cove crown. And then this is a fascia right here. I'm going to use that fascia to, or you're going to use that fascia to nail the crown too. These are 36-inch uppers. Next to the dishwasher, we have a base cabinet with drawers, because a lot of times that's where the knives and forks will probably go. Now you probably keep the dishwasher where it is, but you could switch these 2 around if you wanted to. If you switched them around, it'd be a little tighter to the sink probably, so maybe it's probably better to keep it where it is. And I've added this is a 3/4-inch panel. You have a little wider panel there today, but I think you can just do a 3/4-inch panel, of which I would pocket screw to the floor, into the floor, to hold it in place. Flat panel on the back of the island. Shaker style cabinets, by the way. This is showing the optional 5-piece drawer fronts as opposed to a flat slab drawer front. Then on either side of the refrigerator are refrigerator panels, refrigerator cabinet over the refrigerator. This is where the microwave would be. Again, I would like to know the size of the microwave you have in mind. Some folks like to do a microwave drawer. Sharp makes them. There's a couple other manufacturers that make them, but they're pretty slick, as opposed to just a countertop microwave. And if you have trouble finding that Sharp drawer microwave, let me know. You can find them on ajmadison.com. Pretty good place to filter your appliance options. This cabinet here would have doors prepared for glass. Glass would be sold separately. I would suggest getting glass locally. And this cabinet would have a finished interior, so it looks like the exterior. Then you got cubby holes. I think this is what you wanted. Here for wine bottles. Again, crown molding going to the ceiling. Base cabinet with a drawer, base cabinet with a drawer. This is a working drawer. Typically I can put a working drawer there depending on the size of your microwave. So that is the basic design. I can come up with some pretty good idea on pricing, but if you want a formal estimate, I would want to know what your appliances are, including the vent hood and your sink. Those are the key items. Let me know if you'd like to see some changes, or if you like the design as it is. Before I stop this video, actually, just want to mention you probably want to vent this stove to the outside since this is an outside wall. There's a very good chance you're going to run into a stud, probably right in the middle where you want the vent hood, or you could get super lucky and not and fall right between two studs. That would be unusual, but prepare yourself if you want to vent this to the outside, and most people that have a standalone vent hood would want to do that. You might run into a stud while you install that vent hood. And the other thing I should mention, because I think it looks nicer, I carried the fascia all the way across, crown molding all the way across. That allows you to butt the vent hood into another cabinet finished piece here. Now if you don't want that, if you don't want this, then I can just do returns. I can return the fascia against the side of this cabinet and the crown molding. And then this hood would have to be tall enough to touch the ceiling in order for it to look right. Hopefully you can see what I mean there. Well, let me know if you have any questions.